Okay, does running cause problems for your discs? Actually, it looks like the runners are the ones that have better, larger discs and healthier discs than the non-running or sedentary population. Recent study, kind of interesting. I have a lot of my people that are non-runners will tell the runners, you shouldn't run, you're going to hurt your back. Now, this study was done looking at runners that were healthy and also sedentary people that were healthy too, that actually they looked at their disc size. So they basically looked at, and we'll show you on this guy right here. So this is, just to give a little anatomy here, we have the vertebral bodies, which are these bones right here. Okay, this is the L5 one, L4, L3. And when you call a disc, when you name a disc, it's named by the segment above and below. So down here, this is the L4, L5. This is the L4 vertebral segment, L5, and this is the L4, L5 disc, okay? And this one here is L5, and then this triangular bone is called the sacrum, okay? This one is called oftentimes the L5S1 disc, okay? Why are these discs important? Well, in the study, they looked at all the discs up and down. They found that runners across all these discs had larger discs, like compared to, let's say, the non-runner. We had the two vertebral bodies here and here. The discs were a little bit taller, and they had a richer or healthier disc segment. Okay, and oftentimes, especially in this L4, let's come back to here, our L4, L5, and L5S1. Those are the segments that typically have the greatest degeneration. So, anyway, so these runners, basically, the group that we're looking at, had either greater than 50 kilometers a week. They averaged. They're over 5 years. They were runners. And they didn't have any history of spinal problems or disease, whatever. Now listen, if you have a herniated disc, yes, you may have more trouble than someone that's got a healthy disc. But saying that running will be bad for your back and your discs seems to be that maybe it actually doesn't. And it's interesting, when we look at the runners, what they think's happening is that compression, that loading actually causes the disc to get healthier. So it's kind of interesting that, more load, maybe we're actually improving the health of the disc. They're more vibrant. And I've heard this before in other studies, but this is the most recent one. It's kind of interesting, just like muscle. It's funny how different tissues adapt to change, to loads. So just like muscles respond to a load. Weightlifters, they lift heavier weights. What happens? Their muscles get bigger. They got a hypertrophy, okay? Same thing with bone. There's a thing called Wolff's Law. And what the law says is that you increase the loading on a bony segment, whether it be the bones here in your spine or your hip, you get a laying down of more bone or heavier bone. In fact, they found construction workers, masons, people that carry a lot of heavy loads routinely actually have larger bones. The body reacts to that and lays down more bone in response to more load. The loading in this case is running, okay? They also noticed some differences with joggers as well. But anyway, that being said, there may be some benefit to it. The Wolff's Law is the one talking about bones. And it's interesting, sometimes you can go too far. If you do it too rapidly, yes, you can get injuries. And in the case of bones, they call it a stress fracture. Like some runners that increase their mileage too much, or all of a sudden change their footwear. All of a sudden, they're increasing the load on the bone too much, and they actually start developing fractures. So yes, in theory, if you don't listen to your body or increase load too fast or increase your loading too much, you can also injure your bones, your discs, and different tissues. But keep that in mind. It doesn't mean a guarantee that just because you run, you're going to be hurting your back, or in particular your lumbar disc. In actuality, you may actually be helping them. And runners they actually seem to have a larger disc and also more vibrant. They can take shock absorption. They're better. So anyway, that's our tip for the day. I just wanted to throw that out there. Oftentimes I'll hear that from non-runners or people concerned about their husbands or spouses that are running, that they're going to hurt their back. Actuality, they may actually be helping their back, okay? Some of the things we're not really sure about with this is that there's other things that could be influencing this disc height. The runners, as the general population, are typically healthier individuals. They're not really our smokers. They have better diets. So there's other things that might be influencing why these disc segments are healthier, larger, and in theory better and stronger. But it sure tells me that it doesn't sound like it's something that's going to hurt the disc segment at least. Anyway, hope this gives you some food for thought. Have a great day.